Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's a mad day. Still, it's a mad day. I've been trying to sort out this damn chat for the longest time. I've been trying to do something lit, but it hasn't worked out thus far. So I'm gonna be trying to do it through the stream a little bit to see if I can get it working, to see if I can get it going. But it is the Manchester Derby today. It's a big game. Shout out to Coach's Corn in the cut. Hope you're doing well. Hope your day's been blessed. Appreciate you coming by each and every time. Shout out to Paxton. Hope you're doing well. Hope your day's been blessed. Appreciate you coming by each and every time. He said Jadon Sancho at Old Trafford. Well, that's good to see. That is good to see, man. For real. And hopefully his process in recovering is getting closer at least, and he's in a right space mentally and physically to return soon, because he's gonna be another crucial player to our plans, But I hope everybody's doing well, having a wonderful start to your weekend. Now the chat is popping up. You see, that's getting on my nerves now. It's getting on my nerves. Let me see something real quick, actually. Maybe I'll delete it. I'm gonna try and do it again before I get into the lineups. I've been fixated on this, and it's been doing me dirty. I'm not gonna lie, it's been doing me dirty. Shut after a specified time. Say repeat. My bad, everybody. My bad. If it doesn't work now, I'm just gonna let it go. We move another day. We'll see. But let's get straight into the lineups, ladies and gents, because the game's almost beginning. I'm excited. So let's speak about it. Man United lineup. David De Gea in goal. Aaron Wan-Bissaka right back. Rafael Varane there. And Luke Shaw returns to that centre-back position, which means Tyrell Malacia will be at left-back. You can see I need to tweak for the people who don't get noticed. Oh, hold on a second. Thank you for that, Paxton. I thought I said 12:15. My God. Shout out to Paxton, man. Shout out to Paxton real quick. Woo. Let me delete it. Shout out to Paxton on the good lookings. Slap that out. Big up to John Fabregas in the car. Hope you're doing well. Today's been blessed. Appreciate you coming by each and every time. Good to see you here once again. Blessings over to you, sir. But anyway, back to the lineup. So yeah, Luke Shaw back at centre-back for the City game. What do you think about that? Malacia out there. I've seen a few people potentially highlighting that Mahrez matchup that he has, but we'll get over to that in a second. Fred and Casemiro in the midfield. Christian Eriksen, I'm predicting, will be the advanced one. That's it's usually Bruno's position, but as we can see, Bruno's been pushed out to the wing. Anthony's on the bench. Marcus Rashford on the left side, and Anthony Martial through the middle. He did end up being fit in the end, which means he passed his fitness test today. On the bench for us, Tom Heaton, Victor Lindelof, Harry Maguire, Martinez, Kobe Mainu, Scott McTominay, Anthony, Elanga, and Alejandro Garnacho. For Manchester City, Edison, Kyle Walker, Akanji, Nathan Ake, Joel Cancelo. He hasn't had the best time at Manchester City at the moment. A few bench warming performances, but he's back in the team for this massive game. Rodri, Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Riyad Mahrez, Phil Foden, and the goal machine Erling Haaland. As recently, it has dried up a bit, but I'm not going to try and say too much. He's always a threat in any game. We got Ortega Moreno on the bench, Calvin Phillips, Ilkay Gundogan, Jack Grealish, Aymeric Laporte, Julian Alvarez, Gomez Palmer, and Rico Lewis to complete that team. So let me know what you think of both sides. If you have any Man City fans in the chat, don't hide, don't go anywhere. Show up, man. And and say what you think, and of course, Man United fans and everybody else. Let me switch over to the sports chat. You see, it's messing me up again. You mark. It's messing me up. I can see the players in the lineup. This is gonna be a big game, ladies and gents. It's gonna be a big old game. I might have to move it if it doesn't work, I might have to move it. I hate that. I hate that. Whole time. I know John's out here rooting for Man United. It's crazy. Yeah, I might have to get rid of this one. I'm not gonna lie. We'll see how the chat goes later on anyway. Malacia, if he's going to make it, needs to show what's going on. Let me get these. Man United. Making sure update teams. Always on top. Stopwatch. Let me add that 0 also. Boom. We're ready to go. The teams are coming out of the tunnel now, ladies and gents. Got to say, Gundogan is a class player, slightly underrated for me. Always performed at Dortmund and City. I'm telling you, I think it was a couple seasons back when he really started to get within the goals, played in an advanced position and add more goals to his game, and he's been really effective for Manchester City ever since then. He has had his moments where the goals have kind of dried up to a certain extent, but he's done really well in that regard to keep on going and do his thing. So much respect to that in the end of the day. You do Fantasy Premier League. I don't actually have a Fantasy Premier League of my own, John. I'm in many different Fantasy Premier Leagues, but I don't have one of my own. It's just too much stress for me. So I just say, hey, I'm going to join other people's. I'm going to do my thing throughout the season, but that's about it. I'm wearing a different kind of kit today, man. Yeah, I mean, sprucing it up a bit. I don't even remember what season this is from. I haven't got a Man United kit in ages, but just to refresh everybody, the reverse fixture earlier in the season finished 6-3 to Manchester City. If you believe, they were like 4-0 up at half-time. Well, they scored 4 goals at half-time anyway. Phil Foden and Erling Haaland scored a hat-trick. Anthony Martial scored twice coming off the bench, I believe. Or he may have started, and Anthony scored as well for Man United. So there's a lot of revenge on the cards for Manchester United at home. Eric Ten Hag, I'm sure he'll want that. Marcus Rashford scoring in 8 consecutive home games at Old Trafford. Surely he'll want to keep that form running, keep that form rolling as it goes on in the Manchester derby. It's going to be a very interesting one. Of course, the young Kobe Mainoo on the bench after featuring in that Carabao Cup game against Charlton through to the semi-finals there. So it's going to be an interesting one where we will be facing Nottingham Forest over 2 legs. But we're just seeing the lineups now for Manchester City. The game will soon be beginning, ladies and gents. How are we feeling? How are we feeling? Paxton saying, I haven't touched my FPL team since the World Cup. Oh, well, I'll give it a couple months next season. It's one of them ones, isn't it, Paxton? It's one of them ones, bro. I'm just trying. John saying, can't wait. Come on. Listen, I'm excited for this game. Shout out to Super Nick. Hope you're doing well for today. It's been blessed. Appreciate you coming by each and every time. Woo! Big game. Big game indeed. I might just move the chat if it doesn't work out and try it another week. The time ran up on me today. I'm not going to lie. The time ran up on me. And I was just like, oh my God. Let's see if it works this time. Showing the dangerous Erling Haaland. Big up Road of Pros Only Sports in the cut. Hope you're doing well. Hope your day's been best. Appreciate you coming by each and every time. The game is soon starting and now the thing disappears. Come on, man, like Tariq in the cut. Hope you're doing well. Hope your day's been blessed. Appreciate you coming by each and every time saying, come on, United. John Fabregas saying Rashford, a hat-trick incoming. Well, I hope so. I'm staying composed. I'm excited. It's a big game. People be sure to go and subscribe to Pros Only Sports on YouTube. Tariq Talks on YouTube as well. Manchester United will be kicking off. Christian Eriksen, the sole player, standing in the middle of that centre circle. Referee looking at the whistle. The 188th Manchester derby. Stuart Atwell, the referee for today. I've got all the other officials, just in case there's other controversies to speak about. I'm waiting. And the game has kicked off, ladies and gents. I'm going to move this down. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to move this chat so it can still be seen. And I'm just going to try and get it for the next time. Because it ain't working out today. I tried to do something fancy. But it's all good. Next time. I'll try it next time. Yeah. I'll try it next time. And hopefully we'll have it going. Hopefully we'll have it going. And then we'll take the chat. Let me make it a little bit smaller in the middle there. Hopefully you guys can see that. Let me know, ladies and gents, if you guys can see the chat. All good. Boom. You don't blame the rest, like. Saying facts. Appreciate you, Tariq. Like what he says. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Share it to your friends and frenemies. Roland saying, let's go. Super Nick saying, we got this. Come on. Nathan Ake on the ball right now for Manchester City. Him and Akanji, the starting centre-backs for City today. For Manchester United, Raphael Varane and Luke Shaw, who's, if you remember from a few games back, he's had a successful spell in that centre-back position. With the Red Devils being on such a wonderful run, Erik ten Hag's been able to win 20 of his first 27 competitive matches in charge of Manchester United. He's taken the fewest games in club history to reach that landmark. And that just explains the brilliant turnaround that he's been able to orchestrate ever since that horrific start to the Premier League season. Losses to Brentford. Brighton as well. I think it's a big game for Tyrell Malacia today. Big game for everybody, but Tyrell Malacia out on the left. He's started his Manchester United career well, and he's seemed to go down just a little bit in his quality in terms of defensive work. So he's got to be concentrated. Concentrating. I gotta go, but I'll be back. Shout out to you, John Fabregas. Thank you for coming through and saying what's good. Enjoy the game. It's Cancelo. It's Super Nick. I know you was kind of skinning your teeth when you saw that name. Bernardo Silva tried to ease it in. Riyad Mahrez and Malacia just fighting for the ball there, and Tyrell does well. It's Casemiro. You know, you seeing Fred in the midfield. Just add that bit of tenacity in the middle of the park that Manchester United need, and advance Christian Eriksen so he doesn't have to engage as much in those defensive duties. You have Bruno Fernandes out on the right We've seen him play in these positions for club and country before. Still very influential creativity-wise. And I'm sure in points in the game we'll see him alternate with others and come in central areas to try and affect it that way. Shout out to Super Nick saying, please remember to like up the live, comment, share, and subscribe. To anybody that's new in and around, be sure, man. And as you can see, second channel on deck. Be sure, CM22. That is exactly how it's spelled. Be sure to show it some love. Should be link on the channel's description. Or even, yeah, link literally in the channel. So blessings to everybody, man. Blessings to everybody. What I'll do is I'll drop a link of the channel so you guys can see it. I'll drop it in the chat for you guys as well. There you go, ladies and gents. Link right in the chat. Paxton saying, classy mirror. Over Partey all day, every day. Don't know why I'm firing shots at Arsenal. They are on our side today. Wait, I don't know. But we'll see, Paxton. We got to keep it going. Bruno Fernandes, Martial trying to turn, but he just isn't able to get that control on the ball. He's unlucky there. The excellent Edison on ball. You could say he's probably the best goalkeeper with the ball at his feet in world football right now. Would you guys agree? I have an interesting stat for you guys, and Manchester United are going to have to overcome a lot of demons against Manchester City at home because no other Premier League side has beaten Manchester United at Old Trafford more than Manchester City. That is 8 times. 8 times. No other Premier League team has beaten Manchester United that much at Old Trafford. Kevin De Bruyne turns away from Fred almost easily. Bernardo Silva gives it out to Joao Cancelo. Phil Foden let it run. Wan-Bissaka and Varane giving some cover. Chipped in towards the back post. Malacia gets a head on it and Rashford will get it booted away. Paxton saying to you, will probably say Xhaka is better than Casemiro. Tariq, can you confirm that, my bro? Listen, man, I'm just, this is gonna get intense. That's all I'm gonna say. It's gonna get intense, ladies and gents. Martial was just offside there. By the way, guys, are you able to see the chat box a little clearly? Let me know. I hope it's not too small. I'm going to try and get something sorted out for next stream. It wasn't able to work out today, but I think you guys might be able to see the vision. Maybe. It's Cancelo. Trying to spray one of those diagonal passes that he does so well, but he didn't get the right lift on that one, and it will go back through to David De Gea. Pep Guardiola up and active early on in the game. 500th top flight game for Pep Guardiola in the league. He spent his longest tenure in management here in Manchester. And the other two being at Barcelona, where he had so much success in La Liga, won a Champions League as well. And of course in Bayern Munich, where they continue to dominate the league. Super Nick saying chat box is a bit small. Okay. I figured that would be the case. Super Nick. What I'm trying to do is get it so on the side, it pops up when the chat overlay pops up. That's what I've been trying to do, but it hasn't worked out just yet. But hopefully I'll be able to get it done very soon. Manchester United under 18s drawing 2-2 with 10 minutes to go against Blackburn Rovers. Thank you for asking, man said asking. Thank you for putting that in the chat, Paxton. I'm all over the place, man. Nice by Martial there. Received the ball, touched it down, gave it to Fred. Now here's Martial. You can hear the roar of the crowd every time he gets on the ball. Up against Walker, gives it to Martial. He tries to play it back into Rashford. Bounces out to Malacia. Fake shot. Tries to cross it in. Oh, he's offside. Malacia's offside. You can see it here. Rashford on the ball, gives it to Martial. And as Rashford runs, Martial tries to play him through. And Malacia just wasn't focused. He wasn't switched on. He needs to be switched on a little better there, the young lad. But unlucky. Those are the attacks we need to make the most out of. I don't think Manchester City have been solid at all defensively this season. And that can be exploited. At times they can lose focus in games. We've seen that quite a few times this season. They haven't been at their sparkling best. And they've given Arsenal, who are the top team in the league right now, an opportunity to expand the number of points that they have between each other. But also Manchester City, they'll be fighting to get back into that race. Christian Eriksen, it was a misplaced pass. Bruno Fernandes shot wide of the goal. He just drags the shot wide on the right side of the area. But the fans will be loving that again. It was a misplaced pass, I believe, by Bernardo Silva. Eriksen gets the ball, gives it into Bruno Fernandes. And he's unlucky. He just tries to get it into the far corner of the net and drags it wide out for a goal kick to Manchester City for now. But that's a good start by United, and Pep Guardiola is not liking that one. Yeah, Roland says chance for Bruno there is a good chance. You think back, a player of his quality should be doing better, but it was unlucky. He's got a busy job today for both Varane and Luke Shaw. Erling Haaland occupying them both. That time he was trying to make a run in behind Luke Shaw. Have to say, switch on with a guy like that. In the reverse fixture at the Etihad, our defenders just couldn't handle the movement of Erling Haaland. And of course, great strikers will have theirs eventually. But we need our defenders to do a great job and communicate, most importantly. It's Rodri. He was actually getting on to Nathan Ake for not passing it down the line there, Rodri. He passed it back that time to Edison. Bernardo Silva dropping deep to receive the ball. He started well, managing the game, everyone doing their role. Exactly that. You've liked what we've seen. We just can't afford to get dragged out of position a lot of the times. I think right now our structure as a side has been well. We've engaged at the right times. We just need to continue in that fashion. Riyad Mahrez. You know, I had a stat about him today saying that out of all the players Pep Guardiola has managed, he scored off the bench the most times. But he's starting today, and we all know about his dangerous threat cutting in from that right-hand side. And no panicking, Supernick, of course, starting comfortable at Old Trafford. And that's where the confidence comes in. You've won a lot of games at Old Trafford. You're making it hard. You're making yourselves hard to beat as a team now. So there's no need to panic. You can approach this game with caution, of course. But you approach this game with a level of confidence because you've been able to establish yourselves as one of the informed sides, not just in the league, but in all competitions. And that was before and after now the World Cup. Kyle Walker going into that midfield area, and then he'll cut back out wide and offer himself there. What we've seen really in recent years is fullbacks occupy that central area and add numbers into that midfield when they are in possession. Manchester City and Pep Guardiola really one of the innovators with bringing that to the Premier League. It's Kevin De Bruyne. Out wide this time, up against Fred. Tries to play it through, but it wasn't accurate enough, and Varane, and now Bruno's able to play that outlet pass into Anthony Martial. A lot of space on that left wing. Rashford and Christian Eriksen entering the area, and it just bounces. Rashford was there. Good tackle by João Cancelo. Is able to get it cleared. The ball inside was deflected and got past Eriksen, but it almost made it to Marcus Rashford. Good run by Martial and ball by Bruno. Here's Rashford in the box. Fred plays it out to Malacia. Walker closing it down, and he'll find Fred again. Oh, and that's a great turn away. He goes down. The referee not giving anything, but Fred kept it in. Martial trying to clip it into Eriksen, and it goes straight to Ederson. But once again, well played there by Manchester United. They're looking composed, they're looking confident, and those outlet passes are available if they're able to win back the ball quickly and find that outlet pass. Especially in wide areas. Mahrez playing it into Kevin De Bruyne. He's up against Fred again. Fred able to get the block on the ball. And that's a goal kick to Manchester United. Well played there. And it seems like early on, Fred is going to be doing a number on Kevin De Bruyne in this game. He's been up against him in that midfield position early on as Wout Weghorst is watching on in the game. Watching on from the stands. I'm sure he'll be involved against Crystal Palace, but for now, he's watching on his team with his family. 89th minute goal for Man United. Under 18s are winning 3-2. Roland saying United are working hard. Indeed they are. And it's going to have to be one of those games. We know Manchester City, they, for the most part, will have the majority of possession. And sometimes teams can switch off in those scenarios, especially the later the game gets. So it's going to be a game of focus, hard work together and as individuals. Ederson rarely misplacing a pass, but he does there. Out for a United throw-in. David De Gea receiving the ball there from Rafael Varane and kicking it long. Something we've seen a lot from the start of the season. That's been one of those developments of David De Gea just booting the ball long as the favoured option. Of course, at times he will play it short when the option is there and when the danger is a little further away from the goal. Is Akanji. Kyle Walker playing it down the line into Riyad Mahrez. Malacia pressed up against him, and Stuart Athwell didn't give a free kick. Here's Martial. Gives it into Casemiro short, but that was the wrong pass. They were too close to each other and got closed down. Here's Kevin De Bruyne. Fred able to win back the ball again. Slides in and wins it back. Great work by Fred. And De Gea will boot it out clear again. An excellent start to the game defensively by the Brazilian, showing why he's been brought into the team in such an important game. Here's Kevin De Bruyne. Cancelo. Rodri. Shout out to Moss in the cut. Hope you're doing well. Today's been blessed. Appreciate you coming by each and every time. Leon Bailey. Well, it's good to see him performing again for Aston Villa. He's struggled since he's gone there with injuries, and obviously when you're out of the team a lot, you're gonna struggle for form. So hopefully you can get a bit of consistency on him now, and that can only do him with the national team better as well. Is Luke Shaw. Work them thumbs. Shout out to Moss in the cut, man. I know a lot of Arsenal fans will be rooting for Manchester United for one day only in this derby day, but it is what it is. Akanji. You can see really once Manchester City get in those wide areas, Manchester United engage. So that time a free kick was given away by Malacia, a little too overzealous on Riyad Mahrez there. But you can see as soon as they go out wide, Manchester United in terms of pressing just activate and turn into madmen. It's Bernardo Silva. Once they're in central areas, they're kind of a little nonchalant in the press, but once you go out wide, you'll see a bit more power in high areas. Of course, De Bruyne, Malacia plays it out for a corner kick. He does well there in the end. He kind of stumbled on the ball, but he needed to get it away from the runner. So it was good work in the end by Malacia. Now we can set up for the corner kick. Got a lot of tall bodies in there. Kanji, Haaland, Rodri. Riyad Mahrez with the in-swinging corner. Takes it now. It's a good ball in. Won by Casemiro. Headed out. Back to Manchester City though. Kyle Walker into Phil Foden who's starting today. De Bruyne trying to whip it in. Bruno Fernandes gets the block on it. Tries to take it down. Wasn't able to do it. And Fred headed it back to De Bruyne. A little groan by the United fans there. But thus far, it's been a good start by the team in red. A lot of people potentially been saying maybe they expected Alessandro Martinez to start in the game. But he remains on the bench so far since returning from the World Cup winning celebrations in Argentina. Erik ten Hag has trusted Luke Shaw in that centre-back position quite a few times, even before Alessandro Martinez returned and was fully fit. And in a big game like this, maybe that is just the right decision. Feed the Weghorst to come. So Martial must perform, yeah. Well, you know, Martial must stay fit in order to perform as well, you know. I think Weghorst is a great option to have for Manchester United on loan. Probably the right decision, other than going for João Felix like what Chelsea did. But I think it's a very good option that gives something different, but also possesses the skill set of a forward that Erik ten Hag would like. A guy that's going to be defensively active, defending from the front, as they say. What do you think is Shaw, left centre-back, and Malacia together? Can this? Well, in previous games, it has worked. Luke Shaw at centre-back has done well. It's going to be a big test up against Erling Haaland, of course. Malacia, there have been some questions of him defensively. Going forward, he's all right. He just needs to be switched on defensively, and I think that's where Luke Shaw can help him with his experience, communicating and making sure that the young man is all right and staying in position at all times and watching a runner. Blackburn, under 18s 2. Man United, under 18s 3. 18 goals in 6 games from the youngsters. Tipped to challenge for the league title. Congratulations to the under 18s Manchester United. And thank you to Paxton for the update, man. Shout out to Moss once again. Erling Haaland dropping deep and playing that first time out to Mahrez. Up against Fred this time, cutting inside, and Casemiro tried to close down that angle. Now it's Bernardo Silva chipping it into the air, and Malacia gets a foot. Haaland in the box. Danger signs for United. Good block, and Casemiro able to get there. Gets brought down. Free kick to Manchester United. Well done. But we can see that danger. Malacia just able to get it away from Mahrez. Haaland takes a couple touches. And Fred and Casemiro are able to get between the both of them just to try and throw their body in front of the ball and get the block. It was Casemiro in the end that got that one. But that was the first danger sign and touch in the area for Erling Haaland. Manchester United will want to keep that to a minimal. 69% possession for Man City so far, saying Paxton. And you know what? This is what we've expected. A team so good in possession, Manchester City, usually at least. Manchester United don't want to press, for example, and get dragged out of position, and all of a sudden you give Manchester City so much space in behind. I think what we're seeing from United is once we're in wide areas, not high wide areas, I would say in the middle and low wide areas where there are dangerous scenarios for Manchester City. If they lose the ball, we will press in those areas a bit more and then allow Manchester City to have the ball and just stay in position. Phil Foden was called for offside again. Pep Guardiola not happy with that one. It was a good ball by Kevin De Bruyne as well. Last 5 minutes. 84% possession for Manchester City. 16 for United. But we do know dominance in possession doesn't mean everything and anything in a game. The most important things is creating good chances and scoring goals. And let's see if United can do that. Eriksen plays it to Martial, bounces it to Casemiro first time, plays it out wide to Marcus Rashford on the right, who tries to boot it over and finds almost Bruno Fernandes. It was a good ball, a good idea by Marcus Rashford, but just a little behind Bruno Fernandes there. Maybe didn't communicate with Christian Eriksen, who were in a similar position there. And it goes out for a goal kick. Bruno needs to switch on and stay calm, saying Super Nick. Rodri, a little 1-2 with Kyle Walker, who has space to run into now. Haaland making a run in behind. De Bruyne in so much space for Manchester City. Plays it into Mahrez now. On the right side of the box, trying to play it across. Good block once again. And it's out for a City throw-in. Manchester City now finding space in dangerous areas. Manchester United do need to be wary of that. We need to be more clinical if we're going to win, Paxton. 100%. In those positions, we need to be better. Ake. Phil Foden running on behind as Cancelo gives it to Rodri. A little Cruyff turn, trying to get away from the Man United defenders. And he was able to do that successfully there against Casemiro and Anthony Martial. De Bruyne, if he was able to get Kyle Walker in there, he was in behind Bruno Fernandes, driving down the right side. He was able to block it out. So far, so good. But like I said, we do need to be wary of Manchester City in those positions. Kevin De Bruyne, Erling Haaland running on behind those wingers and fullbacks as well. The quality they possess on ball. Luke Shaw passing it out to Terrell Malacia. Just taking it inside now and playing it back to his number one. Varane clips it up to Christian Eriksen, just holding off Nathan Ake, playing it around the corner to Rashford, who tries to play it back and it's bounced out for a United throw-in. Sheesh, the Super Cup final, Real Madrid versus Barcelona tomorrow. That is an interesting one, ain't it? Well, United almost gave away the ball in a bad area. Fred gives it to Martial. First time passing to Eriksen. And Marcus Rashford, who was on the right-hand side this time, was making a run forward, but City defended and blocked him out well. Wasn't able to get that clear run through on goal. Martial, 8 touches, 2 offsides, 1 times dispossessed. Once again, you don't want to be in those scenarios of being caught offside. City have been caught offside a couple times as well in the game. Just need to make the most of those dangerous possession moments in high areas in that Manchester City half. It's Luke Shaw. There's only one way for him to put all of that right. Otherwise, it's not looking good, Brev, saying Super Nick. You know. Marcus Rashford that time getting clipped by Joao Cancelo. Bruno Fernandes just getting away from Bernardo Silva's challenge. Fred. Luke Shaw turning back and passing it to David De Gea. He'll play it out wide to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Not the greatest of touches, but he's able to clip it around to Christian Eriksen. Varane, poor pass. He himself took a poor touch there from Eriksen. Eriksen's delivery. Have to be careful. You don't want to be under pressure, especially when City are pressing you. But here we are in a dangerous scenario. But once again, what have we been speaking about earlier in this stream? A poor pass by Bruno Fernandes. And now Malacia's on the ground holding his head and the referee hasn't stopped the game. Well, he's finally stopped the game now. But I'm looking back to that opportunity. Martial gives it to Bruno. Malacia's making that run on the outside and Bruno Fernandes just gets the pass all wrong. Kyle Walker. Ooh. Kyle Walker. See, I'm listening to the commentators and he's talking about he doesn't see the problem with the head. You can see clearly when Tyrell Malacia goes down, his head bounces off the ground. See what I mean? Watch the replay before talking. He's talking about the part where Kyle Walker shoulder barges him. But when Malacia goes down, his head bounces off the ground. Listen to the foolishness today, man. Right now, he's receiving some treatment. You can see he's up. Yeah, exactly, Ronan. And imagine, I don't know if you heard it on BT, but the commentators there moving mad. Like he doesn't see it. He's back up on his feet now, then. Those ones can be nasty as well. Your head just bouncing off the turf. Sheesh. But he is back on his feet, walking now, ready to come back into the game. Just getting a little jog on. As the game is restarted with Manchester City. Almost 33 minutes in the game now. What would you guys say in the chat? How has the game developed thus far? I would say it definitely has slowed down a little bit. And Casemiro gives the ball away. Poor pass there. He's able to win it back luckily. Both sides ain't on song, but Marcus Rashford running out. Gets past Ederson. It's a chance. Ederson way out of goal. And it's just blocked off the line by Kyle Walker. That was a really good chance again. Aaron Wan-Bissaka in the box. Casemiro clips it inside. Martial and Akanji contesting for it. And it finds Ederson. But good chance there for Marcus Rashford. Ederson rushed out and Rashford was able to get there in time, but just couldn't get into the back of the net. That was a chance. Fred down, so Bruno goes to work on ref. Walk away is dirty. For me, that guy. Jules 1, Manchester United 7, Manchester City 9, 56%. So they're edging that Jules 1 battle right now. Thank you for that, Paxton. We got man like Paxton acting as man like. Remember, what was that guy? Was it Alan McInally? Oh, what's his name? Is it McInally? I need to research that. Yeah, Alan McInally. I think he was a sideline reporter for Sky Sports. I know he was on FIFA as well, fam. Big chance indeed, Ronan. Yeah, Ederson, he was moving a bit mad there, Moss. Rushed out, found himself in no man's land. Manuel Akanji, formerly of Borussia Dortmund. John Stones out injured today for Manchester City. He's been in good form for them this season. What a ball in by De Bruyne. And great defending by Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He does enough there to prevent Phil Foden from having a clear header on goal. That was a dangerous pass, and it just shows you give De Bruyne an inch of space and he's able to produce something outstanding. It's Christian Eriksen now. Martial into Casemiro. Trying to play it over the top to Bruno Fernandes, but Cancelo's able to cut it out. Now Erling Haaland on the ball. Lost it on the left side to Bernardo Silva. It's Cancelo up against Wan-Bissaka. Casemiro coming for some support. He's able to get past them both and give it. Bernardo, first time ball in. And Malacia just calm there, chests it back into De Gea. United singing a chant for Martinez right now. On the bench, maybe he will have a role in the game later on. We shall see. Right now, the ball's just in the air. Foden's able to get it down and take it down, which is what you need to do if you want possession of the ball. Cancelo tried to play it through to Foden. Good defending by Varane, just covering it, cutting it out, and playing it back. Rashford's selfishness crept in there. A bit of composure to square it, and it was a free tap-in. It's true. I'm going to have to see another. Here's Rashford again. Rashford chance! And Ederson with the save. Played in, but you know what? We're having all these early chances. We're going to have to take one opportunity. We're going to have to take one opportunity. I'm telling you, ladies and gents. Big up to my guy, Redis United. Hope you're doing well. Today's been blessed. Appreciate you coming by each and every time. Be sure to follow my guy over on Twitch. Subscribe to his YouTube channel as well, ladies and gents. Good morning to you. Much improved performance from us this time around. Indeed, Redis. We just need to take those chances. And I do agree with you there, Paxton. Martial at that time was there. Maybe there wasn't enough space to squeeze it in behind, so Rashford tried to play it under the body of Ederson through the legs, as many strikers try to do. MEFC fans chanting Haaland, how's your dad? Followed by Kino, fam. That's cold-blooded there. Very cold-blooded by the Man United fans. It's not nice. It's not nice. I don't know what's going on, but it's not nice. David De Gea kicking it out. Looking at that Rashford chance again. His touch just went a little beyond him, and the only option there was to shoot by the time Ederson charged out and closed down that angle. Yes, sir, Reedus. Doing well, bro. Hope you're doing well. I hope you've had a great week as well. Malacia just fouling Mahrez again. There's been a couple times now. He must not be far away from being in the referee's book. Malacia just needs to be a bit careful there. A couple times, a little too overzealous. Okay. Paxton said, not until Falcao is back for Oldham. Come on! But here's Riyad Mahrez now. Tries to play into Bruyne. Gets the ball all wrong all together. Here's Marcus Rashford. Tries to get past Rodri. Now Fred picks it up after Rashford's brought down. He's just trying to get through everybody there. And Casemiro once again poor on ball pass. And he fails to challenge Rodri. Bernardo Silva. Manchester United. Just back defending now. Cancelo accelerating. Giving it to Phil Foden in the area. Misplaces his pass. It's been a half of misplaced passes. I will say that. From both teams. Fernandes. Over to Marcus Rashford. Akanji able to deal with it. Plays it back to Ederson. Marcus Rashford looks like it. Oh no. Oh no. Marcus Rashford has gone down. As soon as he finished chasing that ball, he went down instantly. Apparently it's something to do with his hip. Gareth Southgate in the crowd today watching on. This would be a massive, massive setback for Manchester United. Missing Marcus Rashford. Hopefully it's nothing significant and he can run it off. You can see he just pulls up and he's holding his left side of his hip. The left side of his hip. Paxton saying, not now, man. Why? Pros only sports 5 maybe. Hip. The crowd has gone a little quiet, but Rashford is back on. He's walking back. He's going to try and come back on. There's a little limp there. But hopefully he's able to run it off. Only a few minutes until half time. So hopefully maybe he can just run it off and warm back. Stay warm and recover. Anthony is warming up though. Half time probably take him off, saying Paxton. Oh boy. Yeah, he has been in red hot form, Moss. You can hear the crowd. After that situation, the crowd just went almost silent. What we don't need right now is our injuries. Diogo Dalot out of this game with a slight hamstring issue. Of course, Jadon Sancho not fully fit yet to be playing. Hopefully Marcus Rashford doesn't get added to that list of potential absentees. Also, Donny van de Beek out for the season. Prayers to him. A bad knee injury, and you know how significant those kind of knee injuries are. We need everyone to stay fit. Can't lie, injuries is not needed. Saying Reedus. Exactly that, bro. Paxton saying rest Rashford for Palace, need him against Arsenal. United are funny. Weghorst should have been on the bench. We knew how light we were up front. What was the situation there, Roland? Was it a one where I think it just took too long to sign the player in the end? I've heard something about them negotiating the price and their fee, the compensation fee, I think, paid to maybe Besiktas or Super Nick saying he would have had a great impact. Would have been a great impact player in the game. Yeah, we didn't complete the deal in time and register him. But yeah, I heard there were other things involved, and a lot of people were complaining about how Manchester United didn't do it in time because they were trying to negotiate and bring down the price or whatever. Marcus Rashford back on and running, plays it into Malacia. I don't think he'll be able to get there in time, and he doesn't. Yeah, need to register by 12 p.m. on Friday. We've got 1 minute of added time right now. I think half time's coming. And both teams will need it. A bit of energy has been zapped out of the game. Manchester City defensively have looked a little shaky. I will say that. We've gone in behind their defense quite a few times. We just haven't been able to take those opportunities. And hopefully that doesn't come to bite us in the wrong area. Here's Kyle Walker taking a shot from long range, and it's wide of David De Gea's goal. He got the power on it, not the direction. That time, Fred just moved out of the way and opened up that opportunity for Kyle Walker to get a strike on goal. And yes, it is half time, ladies and gentlemen. Manchester United 0, Manchester City 0. We're looking at Marcus Rashford right now. Hopefully, maybe he'll be able to come back on in the second half and impact the game once again if he's fully fit. But I thought it was a really good start by Manchester United. We started, we were very organised for the most part in the half. We've had a few breaks and caught Manchester City in wide areas where they lost the ball and were poor in possession, and we were able to get that quick outlet pass and apply pressure on that back line. We were able to go through on goal a few times as well, but you know, the shot opportunities we have had in the game haven't been able to take full opportunity from it, and we're gonna have to be a lot more clinical with the chances we do create. If we do create those chances in the second half, I hope we do. But so far, we are seeing the defensive vulnerabilities from this Manchester City side. But the biggest disappointment for Manchester United and for me right now is the fact that we haven't been able to take one of our chances. You know? So far, so good, people. Let's be honest. Saying realist. I wonder who Pep takes off, saying Super Nick. Just need to be a little more clinical and be Gucci. Facts, Paxton. I hope we can come out with a similar level of intensity, knowing that as the game goes on, you get more tired legs, spaces open up, opportunities, and so forth. Manchester City attackers have been poor so far. Credit to Varane and Fred, especially I think have played well. Definitely Tariq. I think Fred has been the best player in that midfield. Casemiro at times has been very poor in possession, I would say, in that half, giving away the ball and trying to play that quick pass and just misplacing it many a time. He needs to be better in that regard. Fred, he's been all over the place. He's done a man-marking job, as far as I've seen, on Kevin De Bruyne at times, trying to make sure that he doesn't have a lot of space when he receives the ball. And his tenacity is exactly what Man United have needed. That energy to go over the place and win back the ball. And he's been out wide. He's been in central areas. He's advanced the ball when he's needed to as well. Rodri, Akanji, and Ake have been the only good players for City, saying Tariq. Yeah, I mean, like you said, Tariq, the attacking players, once they've got in position, your Mahrez's, your Fodens, they haven't been able to get the pass right. Even your fullbacks, you would say Kyle Walker, Cancelo, they've made some runs, they've had some opportunities, but in the final third, the passes just haven't been right for Manchester City. And Erling Haaland, once again, really hasn't had much of a sniff, but he only needs one big chance to get a shot on goal and put it in the back of the net. So once again, United have done a good job in that regard to keep him out of the game, but there's still 45 plus added time to go. Malacia having a decent half, for sure. John Fabregas saying City have been poor. Yeah, I would say towards the end of the half, I think in possession, both teams have been, there's been a pattern of both teams giving away the ball, being a little lackadaisical in possession at times. Manchester City more so because they've had the bulk of possession in the game, but Manchester United have done it as well. I mean, in the final third, where we've had the opportunities to really, the one that stands out to me, the final chance really, was that Bruno Fernandes counter-attack. He receives the ball from Anthony Martial. Malacia's making that run into the box on the left side, and he just plays it not far out enough so that Malacia can run onto it. Walker intercepts, and that's been the story of a lot of our attacks. Either we haven't made the right decision, we've misplaced the pass, or in terms of the shot, we haven't made that decision to get it on goal. Marcus Rashford got past Ederson one of the times. He tried to shoot it and pass it along the ground, and Walker was able to clear it off the line. I know Paxton earlier on was saying maybe he could have just squared it to Anthony Martial. I'm going to have to see that chance once again if they do show it on a replay. This is probably how United will play against Arsenal, saying John Fabregas. That's an interesting one. That is an interesting one. For that, what will be, is it home or away? Let me see. I believe it's so it's an away game. It will be at the Emirates. We've got Crystal Palace next up. Read the same, Sam Malacia, Varane doing well, saying Moss. Tariq saying, yeah, I can see that. I hope they will set up like this, because with the likes of Zinchenko, Partey and Odegaard, Ben White as well, who have Chris Parson to break the lines. Shout out to man like Manjinica. Hope you're doing well. Today's been blessed. Appreciate you coming by each and every time. Tell us what you think about the game so far. I know you've been watching on the side. Usually cut away and come back at half time. It's a massive game. But I think the way I've broken it down is that it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Marcus Rashford in the second half, with him having a slight hip issue towards the end of it. I hope he'll be able to come back on and play, but that is not a guarantee in the end of the day. So we'll have to see what happens there at the end of the half. What would you do if Rashi is injured? Who would you bring on, and would you switch any positions? Ooh, that's a good question, T. That's a good question. Let's go back to the lineups. I'm looking at the bench that we have. Attacking options: Anthony Elanga, Alejandro Garnacho, and Anthony. I feel like Anthony would be the option to bring on against Manchester City. He's a goal threat, and even though there are a lot of complaints with Manchester United fans in terms of his variety in how he attacks his fullbacks and cuts inside many a time, or cuts back and plays it back to the fullback. A lot of backs there. I think he'll be the obvious option to bring on. Alejandro Garnacho, I know, will probably be another option. It's a big game for him to come into, though. That's another thing. A very big game for him to come into. And it will be a massive test for both players, to be fair. Anthony as well, but I think he would come on for Rashford. You probably put Bruno Fernandes out on the left wing, and bring Anthony on the right. It is a weird situation and an interesting one. Another one that, strange enough, I could see Eric Ten Hag doing, which he has done in a few games here, is tested Anthony Elanga through the middle. Now, that's not an option that I would go with in this game, but he has done that, where he's put Anthony Elanga through the middle. But once again, I don't think that'll be the option with the players that we already have on the pitch. Really saying, Paxton saying I'd take Rashford off for the fidget spinner. Moss saying got Anthony Garnacho. Well, Sancho right now, he's not fully fit to return to the team, Moss. So I believe he is at Old Trafford today watching the game. Paxton let me know that, but he is not fully fit to return yet. So right now he's on a little program to build up his fitness after he was out for a little while, kind of training in the Netherlands. I would not risk Rashford because we need everyone for the rest of the season, saying realist. I'll say man saying even game, no cutting edge. Game could be decided by a goal. Draw great for our progression, not for City. Moss saying I had goals 2-2, but tight match. Paxton saying Garnacho has been most impressive out of the attackers on the bench, but Martial are only out and out striker, and that is the issue with us not having Weghorst there. And if if Rashford comes off, sorry, because you would see if Martial gets brought off, Rashford goes through the middle, then we don't have that natural striker on the bench to replace that. So yeah, it's one. Super Nick saying that's a test I don't need right now. John Fabregas saying Arsenal haven't won away at Spurs since 2014, and Spurs hasn't won away at Arsenal since 2010. Sancho lacking fitness, but Old Trafford, I give it a week or two. Tariq saying Anthony seems like the most likely sub, but I wouldn't be surprised if Elanga was considered given his defensive discipline and pace on the counter. True, Tariq. True. Elanga has been disappointing every appearance, so Tariq, will ETH risk that in this game? Well, that's the thing, right? I think in terms of attacking output, Anthony Elanga, we all know, doesn't really have it all there yet, which is why a lot of fans recently have been calling for him to go out on loan. But in terms of like what Tariq said, what he can offer defensively in terms of work rate, that's something that I think Anthony's defensive work is decent. Garnacho is still not there in terms of that, which is why I wouldn't really see him come on, as a substitute if Rashford was to come off on the 45th minute, because I feel like you do need those wingers who are coming back and supporting the fullback and double teaming. We do see a lot of the time also maybe those CDMs can drop in and unblock those passing lanes into the central area. Really saying Elanga is Sonic. You're a madman. You know what, yeah? This thing was annoying me because I was trying to get it to work. I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to do more research on it, I think. But I had this thing. Let me see what it is. I have to search it up again. But it's basically the script where it's a visibility timer on OBS. I was trying to get that on and off to make it go on and off with the chat overlay that I made, but I'm either going to do it now, I'm going to try and do it before the next watch along. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, I won't be doing a watch along for the Crystal Palace game. I have to shout out my guy Richmond. He shouted me, and I'll be going to Sellers Park and watching the game from there. So I might try and do a light vlog or something like that. Take some videos and all of them things there with my phone. But I'll be back for the Arsenal watch along for show. Look out for that one there, ladies and gents. Poll time saying Super Nick. What should the poll be then? Let's see. Hold on a second. What should the poll be? Let's see. Let's see. What should the poll be? Super Nick, give me a suggestion. Let's see. That's a tough one. Let me make sure I got my timer sorted out. Reset timer 45. Let's see. See him on the WF fan cam. Hey man. Gonna have to run it. Gonna have to run it, bro. Gonna have to run it, man. Win, lose, or draw. Win. Or draw for United. United. In the second half. Win. Draw. Loss or draw for United in the second half. All right, I've slapped out the poll. Is it going to be a win, draw, or loss for United in the second half? Let's see. Let's see, ladies and gents, what you guys are thinking. We got 2 votes already. We got 1 on a draw. A couple on a draw. 1 on a win. None on a loss so far. Should CTC be on the next Watchalong versus Arsenal? Shout out to CTC, man, but that brother be busy doing his own thing at times. He's the worst out of the 3 wingers on the bench going forward, but I think ECH would trust him to do his defensive duties better than Garnacho right now. It depends on the situation. Antony is the best option for Rashford, but if we need to shore up defense, go with Elanga. If we need a goal, Garnacho. Would you move Bruno to the left if Antony comes on? I think that would be the best. I think that would be the best option. Huh? Anthony Martial. Yeah, as T says, Anthony Martial coming off, and you know what? Can't really complain with that. So Anthony's coming on for Martial. Marcus Rashford will go down the middle, I'm guessing. Bruno on the Bruno on the left, I'm guessing, and Anthony on the right, and I'm sure they'll alternate. But Martial, once again, not a good showing in that first half. Just not looking at the races at this moment of time. So we got 6 votes. Once the second half begins, I'm going to end the poll, ladies and gents. We got 50% on win, 50% on draw. None on loss. Say no more, man. Enjoy the rest of the game. Looked very static at times, saying Super Nick clearly wasn't fit because he's been below average. And it's been the same ever since he's come back from injury, to be honest. He just hasn't looked himself. Wasn't really pressing or moving a lot. I think in terms of that, realist, it was more so his quality on ball, what he was offering, just not a lot. Erik ten Hag is trying to rile up the crowd, saying, come on, as Antony comes on now. We need Wootman ASAP. We need Wootman ASAP. Manchester City, of course, kicking off the second half with Erling Haaland. It's going to be an interesting second half, and it begins. Let me end this poll real quick. I'm going to give you 10 seconds. I'm going to give you guys 30 seconds to get your last votes in. 1, 2, 3. Right, I'm not going to count. I'm not going to count. I'm going to give you guys till 30, and then the poll's off. All right. Poll done. So shout out to everybody who took place. We had 50% votes on win, 50% on draw. United to win, eh? Yeah, well, we shall see. We shall see how this second half goes. Leicester. Eh? Hopefully, yeah. That's a... Yeah, man. Hey, if you guys haven't checked out my poll not poll, my YouTube short that I did the other day on Weghorse, check it out, man. I thought it was pretty decent. Gave me an opportunity to do some research on the player and know what he's about. Oh, that's nice by Anthony. And how? He's able to turn off Nathan Ake and they gave the offside, okay. So let's see there. Yeah, he was just off there, Anthony. Otherwise, it would have been it was a really good turn and he was in. With the way United play, it suits. Not really Martial, because Martial is a clinical striker. We don't create massive amounts of opportunities for him, so he's been poor for time. Well, that's the thing. Martial, really, when he's in form, in my opinion, he can be a clinical striker. But in this period of time, he just hasn't. It hasn't been the case, and we've seen that. He can be much better than he has shown. But recently, he just hasn't been a clinical forward. It's Kyle Walker now. In a lot of space once again. Plays it into Bernardo Silva. Casemiro slid in. Bernardo went for the shot and it just deflects into David De Gea's hands. Here's Riyad Mahrez. Eriksen just tracking him. Now Rodri turns away from Bruno Fernandes. Gives it into Joao Cancelo. Nice challenge in there by Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Cancelo just hesitated there on ball. Maybe was expecting somebody else to pick it off. Anthony lobbing it. But giving it away to Nathan Ake. He just chipped it over the defender but wasn't able to continue his run in time to get to the ball. And blessings to everybody that's been inside for this watching on. Be sure to hit a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new. Manchester Derby watch along, ladies and gents. It doesn't get much bigger than this. Share it to your friends and frenemies. Be sure to join the community Discord. Link in the description and also in the chat. And also give a look into that second channel, CM22. You'll see more watch-alongs, NBA chillathons starting back next week, wrestling chillathons, and also just casual football watch-alongs from time to time. Fred, 2 out of 2 successful dribbles. Coming from Paxton once again. The chief reporter. It's Cancelo. Nathan Ake. Back to Akanji this time. Manchester City just passing it and trying to get it out now with Rodri. Erling Haaland once again dropping deep to try and get a touch on the ball to stay in the game. He's hardly had any touches. United almost pinched it back from Manchester City, but it didn't deflect into the right area. It's Haaland again. Bouncing it back into Mahrez. Rodri. You can tell a bit of sting has come out of the game. Manchester City just controlling the tempo at the moment, slowing it down. And then when they get into wide areas, I'm sure they'll try and speed it up. Bruno Fernandes playing it over the top towards Anthony. He can chase that one. And Nathan Ake does well there, really well defensively. But hold on a second, they've stopped and given a free kick to Anthony. Stuart Atwell took a little while to give that free kick away, but yeah. Against Nathan Ake, we're seeing the replay now. It definitely was a foul on Nathan Ake. It looks like Ake just clips the foot of Anthony and brings him down. That definitely is a free kick, in my opinion. Christian Eriksen and Luke Shaw standing over this one. Now Bruno and Eriksen having some words. Maybe seeing if they can choreograph something from the training ground. Let's see who takes it. It's Eriksen. Ball in! Varane got a foot on it. But it seems like the referee's given a free kick. Varane was offside anyway. Casemiro went down. Maybe tripped a little bit. City have stopped the opposition scoring in the first half. 14 of 18 games this season. That is quite a record. Quite a record. Here's Kevin De Bruyne on the right wing. He has space to put a dangerous ball in the box towards Bernardo Silva. Didn't get the power on it. Haaland heads it down into Phil Foden. Casemiro wins it back and could come away with it now. That was a bit of danger. He tries to play into Marcus Rashford and it finds Kyle Walker. Rashford chasing that one down though. And City will try and deal with it. Bruno Fernandes fouling Cancelo that time. But yeah, that time Fred got caught out there. Kevin De Bruyne had so much space to pick out Bernardo Silva at the back post. You probably wanted Erling Haaland to be in that position if you're Manchester City, but at least for us, that wasn't the case. Messi didn't like Weghorst rocking his world. Yeah, that game against Argentina in the World Cup was what a comeback that was by the Netherlands. What about Mr. Malacia, Super Nick? Cancelo cutting inside now and really driving. We haven't seen a lot of this from Cancelo. Well done, Tyrell Malacia. I think that's what she was alluding to. Yeah, brilliant from Malacia there. T and Super Nick. Switched on, sees the run and cuts it out. Ake. Is that Kanji? %90 possession for Manchester City in the last 5 minutes. Similar patterns for the whole game, really. Manchester City just dominating possession. Manchester United sitting back and waiting for that counter-attacking outlet. I'm hearing Phil Foden will be the player coming off. Jack Grealish being ready to come on. João Cancelo went down, and just like what T says there, Casemiro's been clumsy today. On ball, off ball. You do worry about one of those sliding tackles not connecting with the ball, should I say. why Malacia needs to play these games, building his confidence and proving the doubters wrong. Indeed, Paxton, you know, you need to have a chance to grow and develop. Ball in by Walker, that was a dangerous one. And Luke Shaw cut it out and kicked it out for a corner kick. Looking at this Casemiro challenge again. So he gets nutmegged by Cancelo. And then coming in from behind, it just seems like Casemiro tries to give him a light push. Needs to be careful there. And now Phil Foden coming off for Jack Grealish. Been a Phil Foden hasn't been able to do much up front today. The quality by those forward players haven't been great either, as Mahrez puts it in. Headed back across goal, and Varane was able to clear it away for now. Anthony just trying to flick it away too. Man said, girlish. Moss, you're done out here. Anyone with Foden in their FPL team, he's off. Well, I don't think anybody's trying to have him in their team right now with the inconsistencies of Pep Roulette. Fred was able to get ahead of that pass into Kevin De Bruyne, but Bruno Fernandes fouling Riyad Mahrez that time around. I must say Stuart Atwell's been quite generous with the fouls today. I don't think anyone's entered the books as of yet. Officiated the game pretty well today. The other officials, assistant referees Gary Beswick, Darren Cann, fourth official Robert Jones, Michael Oliver, the VAR official, and assistant VAR official Nick Hopton. Back at Stockley Park. It's Riyad Mahrez. We got some Mama G each and every time. T. Here's Jack Grealish. João Cancelo with a heavy touch, but still able to get around Anthony. Good defending by Wan-Bissaka, preventing that through pass. Bruno Fernandes chipping it over the top into Marcus Rashford. Just can't take the ball in his stride. And that's been the frustration for Manchester United. Those outlet passes, it hasn't been as fluid for us since the second half has begun. Is Walker coming forward again, giving it to Mahrez. You'll see Walker make that inverted overlap. That's what I like to call it anyway. Walker was calling for a penalty that time on Fred. Goes down a little too easy there. He was looking for it, in my opinion. It's Rodri. Back to Riyad Mahrez. Walker still up there into Kevin De Bruyne in the box. Chips it in there. 1-0 Manchester City. And it's Jack Grealish off the bench. It had been coming. Manchester United just have not been able to get that outlet pass. And they've been dropping deeper and deeper. Kevin De Bruyne was allowed to go in behind the defence in the area and just clip the ball into a dangerous position. And a substitute, Jack Grealish, puts the away team in the lead. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Manchester United have not been good enough in this second half. Kevin De Bruyne just takes that one touch around Casemiro that gives him the space in order to clip it towards that back post area. Grealish was there, Haaland was there, and Grealish won the header. Powered it into the back of the net. David De Gea, no chance. Varane was on the line, but he wasn't able to react quick enough. And I have to say once again, it had been coming. Oh, dearie me. Garnacho on for Bruno, I saying Paxton. Casemiro had to stop the cross. He looks tired. It's true, you know, T. Casemiro should do so much better there in regards to that. Kevin De Bruyne just goes past him way too easy with a simple touch down the line. Really saying of all people, brilliant from KDB, yeah. You know, all he needs to do there is clip it into that dangerous area. He does the hard work by getting past Casemiro. Vibes won't be happy about KDB assists. The positive thing about this now is that Manchester United will have to step up. It'll be interesting to see what their response will be, because in the second half, they've been a shell of what they were in that first. Even though they didn't have a lot of possession, they played with energy. They pressed Manchester City in wide areas. And they counter-attacked confidently, with danger, at a high frequency, capitalizing off of those poor misplaced passes by City. In the second half, those opportunities have been run dry. And United haven't been able to attack. United have pushed their defensive line deeper and deeper and deeper until you reach that point where one lapse of concentration, De Bruyne finds space in behind, gets past the defender, clips it in, and Grealish gets you the goal. It's Akanji into Erling Haaland. Goes down, finds Kyle Walker. Referee gets the advantage for now. McTominay on for Casemiro, saying Paxton. I definitely think we haven't seen the best of Casemiro in this game. We could definitely... Oh, no, he's actually coming on, Paxton. Okay. My bad. But, you know, you have to be a realist and put your agendas aside. Even though Casemiro has been great for United this season, he hasn't been great in this game, and that'll be Christian Eriksen entering the book now, getting a yellow card for a little foul on Jack Grealish. Do you think you've shown City a bit too much respect? That's a tough one, you know, T, because we know how good they can be in possession. I do think that possibly, maybe after seeing in that first half how bad City were defensively and also in possession, maybe we could have adapted our game at times to try and control possession, but also at the same time, we weren't great in possession in the game. We haven't been great in possession in the game at times, so I would say the game plan up until this point was, well, up until the goal, or maybe the second half, has been good. But we definitely need to adapt that now and switch it up. We're seeing United press a little higher. Need to have a bit more energy about them though. They're jogging. It's a derby game. They need to play with a bit more energy, and maybe substitutions may help in that regard. Fred on again is scary, but it's what we must do. It's what we must do, Paxton. It is what we must do. We need to change it up in that midfield area. I have another interesting proposition for you. Possibly, do you take off Christian Eriksen? Let's see. Do you take off Christian Eriksen? Maybe. Nah. Probably not. probably it would be Casemiro the one to depart. Because I was going to say maybe you bring on McTominay for Eriksen and play him in an advanced area, or even you could take him off for Casemiro and bring Eriksen back. But I don't think that would be the option for this game. There are a few ways that McTominay could be deployed if he does come on in the game. Here's Eriksen. Luke Shaw. Crowd getting up for that right now. Malacia into Marcus Rashford. Kyle Walker defending. Bruno Fernandes, quick pass into Fred. Now out to the right-hand side. Wan-Bissaka shot deflected. Out for a corner kick to Manchester United. And now the crowd are getting up for it. The flex of Nathan Ake. Manchester United corner kick. Has always impressed me more as a box-to-box, but would it fit the game? That is an interesting one, Paxton. Christian Eriksen to take this one. He takes it short into Luke Shaw, whips it in with his left foot, headed away by Haaland. That was a poor delivery there by Luke Shaw. Needed to get it towards the back post. There wasn't really anybody in that front post situation, as is Christian Eriksen not able to keep the ball in. Erik ten Hag watching on from the bench, probably trying to think about what his next chess move is going to be. Ake playing it out wide to Kyle Walker. He isn't able to find Kevin De Bruyne, and now here's another counter-attacking opportunity, but yet again, Christian Eriksen, Marcus Rashford not on the same wavelength. Right now, they're highlighting Rodri for Manchester City. His ability to just keep the ball ticking. He'll receive it in that CDM position and play the simple pass. Always the simple pass and the right pass. That's what we've needed today from the likes of Casemiro. Christian Eriksen. Garnacho about to warm up, saying Super Nick. Ten Hag needs to go and punch Pep so he can't to make changes to the game. They didn't read this. Garnacho's getting changed, so it seems like he's coming on. Paxton saying swap Bruno and Eriksen. Take Eriksen off for Garnacho. Oh my, Wan-Bissaka almost getting caught, but luckily enough, it goes back to David De Gea as soon as he got pounced on. It looks like Garnacho will be the change for Manchester United. Will be interesting to see who goes off. Poor pass out by David De Gea, giving it straight to Bernardo Silva. And Rodri earns his team a free kick. It's not good enough there. De Gea knows it. Good times, man. Good times. David De Gea's debut as the Community Shield. A Community Shield that I did watch. Shout out to Super Nick was there as well. The 2011 Community Shield where we went 2-0 down and came back to win 3-2. Nani scoring that winning goal. How times have changed since then. It's Cancelo. Riyad Mahrez. Once again, Malacia just tight. Marking him tightly. Nani on his day, man. Nani on his day, superb player. I remember the goal he scored against. He scored a wicked goal against Arsenal. The goal he scored against Chelsea, where he just laced that one from 25, probably 25 plus yards out. Ugh, disgusting. One of my favorite Man United players in that time period. So yeah, Christian Eriksen making way for Alejandro Garnacho now. That's the second Manchester United substitution of the game. The first one was Anthony coming on for Martial. Must say a Nani legend in Orlando City. Backflips as well. The celebration, that's Alex Ferguson told him not to do, but he still did it. Here's Wan-Bissaka. Rafael Varane passing it back to De Gea, who will look to boot it out wide to Malacia and finds him this time. Malacia booting it forward towards Rashford. Doesn't get the lift on it. Marcus Rashford is playing through the middle now. Garnacho on the left-hand side. Anthony on the right. Bruno Fernandes will drop into that Christian Eriksen role. As Fred and Casemiro occupy the DM positions. Readers saying problem with Nani was when he was not on his day. It was real bad. I hear it. I do want to say, I always say every stream, I haven't heard it in Old Trafford today, but Glazers out all day, every day, from every second, every minute, every hour, every day, every week, every month, every year. Here's Bruno Fernandes gets pinched by De Bruyne, but United still in possession. Anthony on the floor. He needs to get up and get to work. Here's Bruno Fernandes trying to spread it like butter over to Garnacho. He can take on Kyle Walker for the first time in the area. Gives it out to Malacia. One touch. Whipped it in the box. It's a poor ball by Malacia. Shaw wins it back now. Malacia once again an opportunity to drive. Gives it to Garnacho. Shaw, first time ball in. It's a good one. Casemiro tried to stick a foot out at it, but it was headed away by Cancelo. Shout out to Paxton. Hashtag Glazers out. Kevin De Bruyne can't take the ball in his stride. As Shabat Carlos crossing. Yeah. I think that's what we're missing with Luke Shaw being in that centre-back position today. Getting those crosses in. Now, obviously, we don't have a physical presence, should you say, in there. Rashford, he scored a headed goal this season. But he's not really regarded as a presence in the air. But he has improved. Malacia's quality of crosses haven't been great today, and we haven't really seen a lot of crosses from that right-hand side either. Anthony giving away the ball to Jack Grealish. He tried to play it back to Aaron Wan-Bissaka and just played it into the chest of Jack Grealish there. in possession. The thing that Manchester City do so well is close down the space. Shut down your options quickly, which is why Manchester United need to be decisive when they're in possession. Choose where the ball's going and play it with speed and precision. But here goes Manchester United on a counter. Marcus Rashford making a run. On the other side, Garnacho. But Akanji defends well. And he just holds it off. And Garnacho commits the foul. Super Nick saying Garnacho is so exciting to watch at times. It was a good opportunity to make that run. I think Garnacho just took one too many touches there, and Akanji was able to cover that as soon as Garnacho took that last heavy touch. The pressure from Kyle Walker was enough for him to kind of take that heavy touch, and Akanji dealt with it and earned his side a free kick. Marcus Rashford pressing and looking like he's pulling up yet again. But you see, the United fans, they react to when the team press, to when the team show some signs of energy. We haven't seen that consistently in the second half. And if you want to get back in the game, if you want to win this game, that's what Manchester United need to do. I'm hearing now that Scott McTominay and Lisandro Martinez are getting ready to come on. If that's the case, Luke Shaw will probably be moved back out to left back. Because, oh, here's Marcus Rashford. He's in. Is he onside, Bruno? The flag goes up. It looked like Rashford was offside. Rashford doesn't seem to touch the ball. Bruno Fernandes was absolutely irate with the linesman. Let's look at this again. Casemiro plays it through to Rashford, who's clearly offside. Now, he doesn't touch it, but they may say that he was involved in it because he was running towards the ball. But he hasn't interfered with play. He leaves it for Bruno Fernandes. Atwell speaking with the linesman, blows his whistle, and it's a goal! Manchester United equalise in the derby! Bruno Fernandes with the equaliser! Game on! Assist Casemiro. In the end, you have to give credit to Marcus Rashford. Understanding that Bruno Fernandes is in and around the area, he just leaves it and allows Fernandes to slap it in the back of the net. Ederson in no man's land once again. And Manchester United are back in the game. Oh, we needed that. Super Nick saying go. Chris Moss saying Rash is a smart man. He doesn't... What the guy in the BT studio is saying is he's not impeding with anybody playing the ball. So that's why the goal has been given. Remember when people said Rashford was brain dead? Hey, Roland saying all season, I need apologies. Cashing in checks. Manchester United back in the game, and look, it hasn't been the greatest of second halves for us, But one thing that we've had going in the game was that Manchester City, number one, Manchester City defensively are vulnerable, and number two, on the counter-attack, they can't cope with us. And City gave away the ball, gave away position like they did many times in that first half, and we finally took advantage of one of the opportunities. And now, let's see what we can do, what both teams will do in response to this goal. Less than 10 minutes to go in the game. Can one team find a winner? Can Manchester United find a winning goal in the game? That may have been the momentum booster that the fans and the team needed. Here's Fred, giving it into Bruno Fernandes, playing it through. Garnacho's running on, down on the left wing, takes a touch up against Nathan Ake, tries to cross it in, he gets it back now, turns, whips it across goal, Rashford! It's 2-1! Marcus Rashford puts United in the lead! What a turnaround at Old Trafford! He does it again! 9 consecutive goals at Old Trafford! And it's Marcus Rashford! The substitute Alejandro Garnacho has been bright ever since coming on. And he delivers. He got lucky getting back the ball from the first cross. But what a swift turn. Sharp by the young man. And crosses it in across the face of the goal with his left foot. And Marcus Rashford was where he needed to be to just toe poke it past Edison in the back of the net. Let's have a look at this again. He's onside. Marcus Rashford. What a goal. I slipped in my living room. I wrote to be careful, fam. Nah, man. Yo, Super Nick saying, come on. Paxton, gassed. Morsena Rash delivers. Ten Hag is gassed. The fans are gassed. And I don't mean tired. I looked off my BT. Hey. Come on. Now it's time to manage this game. You've turned it around. Turn around the second. You see how one goal can change things. Substitutes as well. You have to give credit to Erik ten Hag. Bringing on Alejandro Garnacho. He's been that spark of energy down that left side that we needed. And he's provided that quality for that second goal. And Marcus Rashford getting another goal yet again. Right now, Bruno Fernandes is down. Rodin saying, let's go. John Fabregas in the cut saying, let's go. I know man like T somewhere celebrating as well. Just looking at the goal. And Garnacho, he bends his run, just about to stay onside. First cross, it gets blocked, bounces off Akanji. And then, look at the swift turn. Nathan Ake just doesn't react quick enough. Crossed in a dangerous area, into the box. Rashford, side foot, through the legs of Edison, into the back of the net. 2-1. And now we're going on to 5 minutes left in the game, plus however much added time will be given. If the result stays the same, we'll be in third as it stands right now, 1 point off Manchester City. Nah, John Fabregas. That ain't going down. You know, no, Garnacho was the choice to make. And it was the right choice. Here's Haaland! It was cleared away. Manchester City Keep on coming. United are going to have to concentrate for the remainder of this game. Manchester City will continue to come time and time again. Crossed in by Bernardo Silva, headed out by Casemiro. Not Casemiro, Rafael Varane, sorry. Haaland wins the header from the cross over the bar. Haaland was asking for a penalty earlier on. They checked it on VAR and it wasn't given. Haaland just kicked the legs of Casemiro. Or the leg of Casemiro more so. Pep Guardiola was asking for it. Quite animated on that touchline. Old Trafford is bouncing right now, ladies and gents. Absolutely bouncing. Here's Rodri. Kyle Walker now. Deep in City's half, just trying to reset and go again. Bernardo Silva. To Jack Grealish. Pep was doing the Macarena on the touchline. Word. I was like, hey. Anthony only 3 of 8 accurate passes, something to look at. Definitely hasn't had the attacking impact that I'm sure maybe ETH would have hoped for, but hey, Fred gets booked. There's a little coming together there. Little confrontation and all of them things there. Casemiro's down right now. Sandro Martinez getting ready. Butcher and dressing. Come on. Hey, that kind of sounds wild, fam. The Sandro Martinez is getting ready to come on. Fred has been unreal saying John Fabregas. You have to give, number one, the manager credit for putting him in a game of this magnitude, starting him in a game of this magnitude, and give massive credit to the player. It's not over yet, though. It's not over yet. Free kick for Manchester City. Casemiro's waiting to come on the pitch. Listen, I paused myself, Paxton. I paused myself. De Bruyne's cross gets blocked by Anthony, and that's where he's been contributing. That defensive work. Throw in for Manchester City. Credit to Bruno Fernandes once again. A brilliant performance in terms of his leadership on the pitch, but also being that outlet pass, creativity, getting United back into the game with the goal. He goes back into the centre of the pitch, and that's where we see the best of him. They've given 5 minutes of added time, booed by the home crowd. Martinez and McTominay getting ready to come on in a moment's time as Luke Shaw can take this ball and clear it away for now. Rashford and Anthony were the only ones forward. Man City will reload and come again. Here's Rodri. Clipped over to Mahrez. Malacia quickly out there. Kyle Walker was making a run. Garnacho did well to block out the pass. Here's Fred now coming away with it. Right foot into Anthony, and all of a sudden we've got a 3-on-2. Kyle Walker's making it back to add the numbers. Ake's there also. Marcus Rashford takes the touch. Hesitates. Gives it to Garnacho in the box. Up against Walker. Takes the shot. It's blocked. Garnacho tries to win it back, but City in possession again. 5 minutes to hold on. Oh, Paxton doesn't want to look. Wish they finished them off there. Harry Maguire also coming on for Manchester United. So Marcus Rashford, Raphael Varane, and Casemiro coming off the pitch for the Butcher, Harry Maguire and Scott McTominay. Roland saying Casemiro man of the match. You know what? We've seen some good sides to Casemiro today. I think his passing at times, especially in the first half, was really off. Defensively, Casemiro's been a boss in that midfield. Winning back the ball, being physical. He's the presence we need in those games. And Fred has been absolutely brilliant too in that regard. In possession, I don't think he's been great, Casemiro. What do you guys think? Who would you guys say right now is the man of the match? You're just saying no, not Maguire. Don't do anything stupid, please. Nah. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. I'm not even putting that energy out there. Here's Kyle Walker. Cancelo. Against Akanji. John Fabregas saying Fred man of the match today. Akanji tries to get the ball in, headed away. I think for us, the highlight really has to be our defensive work, right? So Fred is up there, definitely. You could say Marcus Rashford, because he was involved in a lot of our attacks. Grealish, ball in, great header away by Luke Shaw, cleared away by Lisandro Martinez. Shout out to Richie, good night football, hope you're doing well, your day's been blessed. Appreciate you coming by each and every time. If Spurs win title race wide open, Lord of mercy, I don't want to hear it. I don't accept it. Here's Rodri going in. We're in the 4th minute of added time now. 1 minute to go for Manchester United to hold on. Here's Riyad Mahrez. Double up, lads. Double up. Walker tries and Bernardo Silva with a back heel. Nobody was there. Fred gives away the ball. Luke Shaw wins it back. And Fred will come away with it. Here's Fernandes. Gives it to Garnacho. Not able to pass it into Fred. Maybe one last chance for Manchester City. Rodri coming forward. 15 seconds to go in the game. Whistles are blowing in the crowd. Grealish. Bernardo Silva. Outside the boot. Headed away by Martinez. Headed away again. Maguire heads it away again. Back in towards goal. Headed away by Shaw. Grealish. Taking it forward. Deflected. David De Gea claims. And De Gea will just lay on the ground and wait for that final whistle. I think as soon as David De Gea takes this kick, It's game over. The anticipation is there. De Gea will just leave it on the ground. Running up. Game over! Manchester United have redemption in the derby. In a poor start to the season, Manchester City were able to treat their city rivals like a training session. But this was much more different. A different Manchester United side under Erik ten Hag. Weeks and months later, in 2023, they're able to get redemption and yet another victory to keep the good run going. Jack Grealish struck first for Manchester City in the second half, but United were able to claw back and fight Bruno Fernandes with the equaliser and Marcus Rashford, the man in form, with the game winner. And Manchester United held on for a nervy 6+ minutes. You could say 10 minutes almost. They held on. They fought for the badge. And the Manchester derby, the final Manchester derby for this season, belongs to Manchester United. 2-1. Come on. Super Nick say Pudi is better than yours. ETH was the battle of the Pudis. Pood gang saying Roland. Rashford apologies incoming. Pep hold it. Over. Cancelo got 90 minutes. Manchester and London are red. Back to the future. Back again saying Moss. Salty Pep and his babies. Red. Manchester United now in third level on games played with Newcastle and Manchester City. 1 point behind. Of course, their goal difference is significantly below their counterparts in the top 4. But they are making progress. They are making progress. Man saying, if you smell what Ten Hag is cooking. Shout out to Botswana. But listen, we can get excited now to appreciate the progress of what we've been able to do here. Win against a tough Manchester City side. It's a great result like what Realist is saying. And the fans will appreciate it. We appreciate the efforts of the players, especially in the latter stages of that second half. Being able to make the most out of the momentum that they had created from those small little moments where we closed down the ball and caught City napping. We had that counter-attack going all game if we utilised it correctly. Manchester City vulnerable in defence. And we took advantage of that. The first goal, Casemiro assist, plays it through. Marcus Rashford says, I'm offside. Bruno Fernandes, this is all yours. Finishes it in the back of the net. VAR overturns it, gives us the goal. And the game winner for Marcus Rashford. Garnacho turning around. Gets past Nathan Ake, finds that little bit of space. In with the left foot. Rashford tapping it in. Bruno Fernandes saying we look like a team now. Before we look like sometimes a team and sometimes a bunch of individuals. But you guys will see this interview eventually on BT anyway. A wonderful result, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to my guy, Football Power Hour. Be sure to show him love on YouTube. Botswana Papi 10 really cooking. Big up yourself each and every time. Hope you enjoyed the game. Not so long ago, we would have lost our nerve in a match like this. Absolutely amazing job, lads. Saying Super Nick. Man saying CM and the chat, have a great day. Hey, listen. Vamos! Vamos, man! A real team effort. As for City, they are well off their best. And as for the Cyborg, his battery needs changing. Wow. Well, listen, I think even though at times it looked like the game was drifting away from us when Manchester City took the lead, you have to give credit for the substitutions that were made and the game plan that we came into it with. I think it worked to perfection because we continued to catch Manchester City on the break. And every time we did that, we looked dangerous. We just needed to take our chances. And that all came together. That all came together later on in the game. 78 and 82 minutes. Only a matter of minutes in between both of our goals. And we rode that momentum to get this victory, to get this 3 points that keeps the good run going in the league. Keeps the good form going. Manchester United right now are getting results. And if that can continue, no doubt we will be in a great position come the end of the season. There's still a lot of games to go. Carabao Cup, FA Cup, Europa League, Premier League. But we will have to see what happens. What happens in January. What happens down the line. But right now, we can all enjoy this result. Bring on Palace on Wednesday. Paxton saying, waiting for Pep's excuses. I enjoyed the game, brother. Listen, Botswana, my guy. Change the Vikings battery. Shout out to Bruno. I think he got given man of the match in this one. And Bruno Fernandes just riding up the crowd and saying, look at that man, Marcus Rashford. He is red hot. He is the guy. Roden saying Rashford in a big game again. Listen, he's been doing it. He's been doing it since he established himself in the Premier League in a big game. Remember that. He established himself in the Premier League in a big game. It's only right that he continues that rich history of scoring goals when it matters most. And trust me, we needed those 2 goals to bring the roof off the stadium, and there is no roof at Old Trafford. The parts where there is a bit of cover is leaking. But on the Glazers, innit? Get them out. But anyway, yeah, enough of that. Congratulations to everybody in the chat that are Man United fans. We can enjoy this moment today. You can look out for the United twins. I'm going to try and get it out for tomorrow. So look out for that one. Myself and my twin bro Cappy going to react to the game. It's going to be a good one. I can feel it. Can you feel it? I'm not going to sing, actually. I say you can get hit on YouTube for trying to recite song lyrics and all them things there. I don't want to get hit. I wonder if Ronaldo's watching. Ronaldo definitely watching. Listen, man. The past is the past. We live in the present. Every single game, we live in the present. And what the present is today is brilliant. A brilliant win, a brilliant turnaround in the second half by Manchester United. And we are winners of the 188th Manchester Derby, ladies and gentlemen. We won. I'm happy today. Had to wake up early, but it was worth it. Come on, realists. Super Nick asking how the Gooners are feeling. I'm sure they're feeling pretty happy about the game. I'm sure they are. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank everybody who has shown support over this watch-along. Realist, Super Nick, Football Power Hour, Pros Only Sports, Manj, Moss in the Cut, Tariq Talks, John Fabregas. Shout out to everybody who has shown some love. Manj in the Cut. It's everybody who has come here, shown some love. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. We're going to have plenty more watch-alongs where this one's coming from. We're not going to be doing a watch-along for the Palace game on Wednesday because I'm actually going to be at Sellers Park watching that one. But we'll be back for the Arsenal game next weekend. So look out for that watch-along. Look out for the next episode of the United Twins that will be here. Hopefully for tomorrow, I'm going to try and get that one out ASAP, ladies and gentlemen. But once again, big up to everybody in the chat. Thank you for your support. Thank you for pushing this channel forward. We're making progress into 2023. The grind don't stop, won't stop. And until the next time, ladies and gentlemen, Man United fans, enjoy this result. We go again in the week. I'll see you lot, sinner!